Hey, the video that you're about to watch is part of a lesson that I did with David Pakman live on stream a few days ago, and essentially he played a game from start to finish and talked his thoughts out loud to me. I gave him some feedback and sometimes improved his moves. This is obviously not allowed on chess.com, and as part of our learning process, I asked the admins to refund David's opponent after the game was over, but we did this because we thought you would get something out of it, okay? Enjoy the video and understand that we do not break the rules.
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Okay, well, okay, you have white, so I like how his name is only toxic 134. So you would play.
Perfect.
So start out with e4, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so Sicilian.
Okay, so I still play my knight out to c3.
Yes, that's exactly what we talked about. Perfect.
But I'm not going to do this.
So I don't see your arrows, but if you say the moves out loud, I will.
Okay, I'm not going to bring my bishop out to c4.
Nope. Let's see what he does. I mean, you will if he plays e5. If
right.
he plays pawn e5. He'll probably play, yeah, so most people play knight c6. So now just g3. Okay. So it's a very non-confrontational opening, if you get what I'm saying.
That's what I like.
Okay, so you prefer that.
I don't know. I mean, sure, why not? Okay, so now I fianchetto my bishop.
Yeah, so bishop g2 is the plan. Monitoring, each of his moves to see... Now, he'll probably play e6 or g6 or d6. Okay, he played one of those two.
So now I would play f4.
You can, yeah. f4 is perfectly reasonable right now.
Okay.
So you already have some ideas. For example, if it was your move right now, what would you play?
Well, the old me would maybe look at pushing to e5 up until that happened.
What do you mean the old you? That's the best move.
Oh, well, not anymore, though.
Not the best. Yeah, not anymore.
No, not anymore. Okay, so now I would bring the knight out. I mean, I guess I would bring it out to f3.
Yeah, exactly. So you're blocking your bishop, but the other knight covers the center.
Yes.
Yep. So this is so far so good. Very passive position for black.
Mm-hmm.
Very passive. So you move the clocks down. Why are my clocks so high up? Okay. That is the first move you actually kind of have to think about.
Okay, so my instinct just on my chess personality is not to take the pawn on e5 because it's defended by my g pawn, and to try to play a move that helps me, like maybe castling.
Okay, so that's one of those more general, like kind of inner, kind of frameworks you have, which you did say earlier. You don't want to trade too quickly. Remember what we talked about with the Vienna system?
Yes.
You would rather take that pawn with something like your dark squared bishop on c1.
You're saying if that pawn were to be taken, it would be good to have my d pawn out of the way so that the bishop could be used to capture back.
Yes, so something like d3 here is one of the moves. You don't want to take back on f4 with the pawn, because in the future you won't have the f file.
Right. Okay. So d3 would be a reasonable move here.
Yes, d3 would for sure. And just in case anyone is concerned, I already sent staff a message. But listen, this frankly speaking is it's the best way to learn the game.
Yes.
Especially if you're getting some form of, like, it has to be through the actual live thing. Okay, that is a move, I suppose.
So this is actually, we had something similar earlier where there would be really no idea for me of taking with my knight on d4, because then as soon as the pawn captures back, the other knight is under attack.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this trade is on d4 in particular is not, it's not bad for you, but it's also not very obviously good for you either.
Yep.
So what are your ideas here?
Well, I mean, I could put a second attacker on d4 by playing my dark squared bishop to e3, but there's two pawns defending that square, so I don't know that that's really a great idea. I could castle.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could play f5 maybe.
Okay, so taking some space.
Yeah.
f5 is an interesting move. It's a very committal move.
Yes.
Don't forget, you also have something else with your f pawn in these positions.
I could take.
Right, and so if you take and he takes back on e5, you
Yeah.
have...
I have a free pawn, right, with my knight.
Yeah, and so the right move for him, and that's actually something like a byproduct of what he did, he played too many repetitive moves.
Mm.
Notice how he moved his pawn twice and then his knight twice. You can't do that. Like, you can't play. There's got to be something. So take the pawn with
Okay.
your pawn. You can sort of punish mistakes very early on. Now, everything else you said, bishop e3 and castles and f5, all good moves.
Okay.
All good moves. So his best move here is to take your knight.
Ah, right. Because then that's no longer going to be a pawn I can take. Yeah.
Yes, but how many moves with the knight did he make already?
That'll be the third one.
And now it's gone.
Yeah.
So he's only helping you, really.
Right.
Like a guy who's like, developing the knight, jumping it forward, and taking your knight has no idea what they're doing. I mean, they're just. So let's see if he does
in
that.
his defense, I have no clue what I'm doing too. Let's not.
You're too humble, I think. It's good to be humble, though.
So now I have to take with my bishop, obviously.
Why?
Oh, well, actually, I don't. I can take with the queen. Oh, actually, that seems better. I think I prefer to take with the queen. And then this knight is also still under attack.
Yes? Queen is best?
Yeah.
You're going to notice this a lot. Now you say, well, my light squared bishop's not great. You're not wrong. Not wrong, but that's just part of this setup. Okay, so he takes. Again, what are your options here?
Well, let's see. I mean, now might be a good time to bring the knight out, and maybe now is a good opportunity to pin the f6 knight to the queen, and maybe force some pawn move to try to attack my bishop or something like that.
So bishop g5 in and of itself is a very good move. But if he plays h6, you can't hang around. Like, you either have to take the knight. You can't go to h4 because you actually get trapped.
I get trapped, yeah.
So what are the pros and cons of playing bishop g5 and then taking on f6?
Of bishop g5? Well, I mean, I guess the pro would be I'm simplifying, and maybe I have the initiative and I'm the one forcing some of the way the game is going to go. I guess the downside is I'd prefer to have the bishop myself available for later in the game.
Yeah, so that's actually a correct con. It's like you're giving away the bishop, but for a pro, simplifying is not it's only a pro to simplify the position if you're winning already. So if you're up material, you're simplifying, okay, that's good. But there is no real way to say I'm simplifying the position when it's equal, therefore it's better for me.
Right.
What you're doing there, when you take on f6, you're hurting his pawn structure.
Right.
Because what's going to happen is he's going to double his f-pawns. And when he doubles his f-pawns, the light squares in his position, like d5, f5, are going to be clear targets. And if he's doubling his f-pawns, you have an open f-file.
Right.
So you can play bishop g5.
Now, the other thing I would think about would be bishop to e3.
Bishop e3 is also an excellent move.
So what would be a way I could decide which is preferable? I mean, I guess I guess the idea of taking on f6, if I'm committed that would be my plan, then it makes sense to do that because it's a specific idea, maybe?
Well, the way we talked about it, yes, but he also can play bishop e7. When you move your bishop out, he can also, and then your bishops would kind of clash.
So I think I probably prefer bishop to e3.
So do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, you're not what you're doing here. The way you can think about this conceptually, you're not making a committal decision just yet. Like, if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go bishop g5, then I'm going to castle, then I'm going to play knight d5, and I'm going to just destroy him. Well, yes, but let's pretend our opponent is not a moron. Like, that's the most important thing that we have to do. So, okay, by the way, he played bishop e7. Now my question is, which way do you want to castle?
So I in this position, I would probably go long, only because in looking at it, some of the pieces that would immediately be protecting the king, I'm going to want to use for an attack.
Okay.
And so it feels safer to go long.
Okay. Now I'm going to urge you to start thinking about what that checks, captures, attacks. If you castle queenside, look for an attacking move for your opponent. Do you see one?
If I castle queenside.
He has a move that puts you in danger.
On the
Materially.
queen's, if I castle queenside.
Yes, only if you castle queenside.
Is it queen to a5?
Well, does that move attack any piece?
I guess not. Well, I mean, it attacks the knight, but it's obviously, it's defended by
Yeah,
the
so
pawn.
we'll skip that. So it's not even
Yeah.
attacking it, and it's also not attacking the pawn in the corner because the same knight is guarding.
Right.
It's not queen a5.
Is it bishop e6?
Well, no, because the same thing. The knight is
Okay.
guarding. Yeah. Black has one move and only one move, which actually creates a material threat to you. It quite literally puts something in danger.
Would it be knight to d5? No.
Not knight c5?
Queen b6 wouldn't be it either. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure.
Bishop g4.
Bishop to g4. Ah, okay.
And so you
because
might say,
then I can move the queen, but I lose the rook.
Yes, that is extremely difficult to see.
Yeah.
I actually almost wanted to let you play long castle just to see if it would happen, but I don't want you to be like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. Okay, so that's not a good idea.
So you can prepare long castling by making bishop g4 impossible. So how would you prevent bishop g4?
Prevent bishop g4. Well, I mean, I guess I would move the queen now.
You don't have to. You just prevent, you cover the square one more time.
Maybe with the h-pawn?
h3?
Okay.
Yep.
All right, well, let's go for that and see what happens.
And I see folks in my chat saying, like, I wouldn't have seen that. Of course, because long castles and bishop g4 don't look... Now, let me ask you, did you see bishop g4 by itself? Just a move that could attack your queen?
No, not at all.
Okay, so that's how we're going to win this tournament. We have to... The best chess games, the players are envisioning moves for each other the entire time.
Right.
And if there's one skill that you'll pick up, it's spotting stuff for your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So castles, now you can do long castles, as you were planning. Well, this is, by the way, this is why 15 minutes is so great, because...
Yeah, right. The game would be over with a shorter format.
Yeah, we would have played like 4 games already. But yes, guys, we keep talking about the tournament. There's like nothing out yet, but David is gracious enough to join for potential as a PogChamps invitee. So bishop e6 is a very good move. Now is a really tough spot.
Yeah.
What do you play?
So I usually am unsure what makes sense to play here. I think my instinct would be to either push my g pawn or play b3.
So b3, you're playing because you're blocking his bishop.
Right.
But b3 does nothing.
Right. And I'm defending the a pawn with my knight anyway.
Yes, exactly. So he's not actually threatening the pawn on a2.
Right.
g4 is the best move.
g4. Oh, okay. All right.
The best move. I mean, the thing is, you castled on opposite sides, and when you do that, it's a pact, and the pact is to attack the guy.
Okay.
So yeah, g4 for sure is for sure the best move. Who do you think has a better position here?
I mean, I guess I think I maybe do. The knight on f6 can't really go too many places. One of their bishops is blocked in by the c pawn. So I think, I mean, it seems like I maybe have more opportunity for initiative here.
Oh, b5 is a very aggressive move. Okay, first things first. Is that a free pawn?
Well, let's see. If I take it, is it a free pawn? It looks, no, because then I lose the a pawn.
First of all, a2 does hang, and second of all, it's just a very dangerous pawn to take. I mean, it's a move that accomplishes nothing except opening up the position for your opponent.
Right.
So then they play queen a5. Then they play rook b8.
Yep.
So yeah. Now you might say, well, I have to. If that pawn comes forward, it's going to attack my knight. That's correct. But weren't you the one attacking a move ago?
Right.
So continue your attack.
I might now play g5.
You have to play g5. Yes.
Okay.
Because you're striking first.
My
Your
instincts aren't terrible, right?
your instincts are fantastic. Terrible. You
Somehow
might.
I end up losing all the games, but I feel like there's a certain point at which my principles are helping, but then it just falls apart. We'll
Of
get to
course.
that, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, but that's, I mean, that's chess. You know, you can play 40 good moves, one bad one, and you lose the game.
Right, right.
That's no, that's absolutely why it's why people hate chess and love it, I suppose. No, but I completely understand, and I have had games like that. And the worst part is that, you know, chess.com 2+1 game is one thing.
Hmm.
Sometimes you play a chess game and you spend 7 hours and you don't win.
Right.
And well, that sucks.
Yeah, that's another story. That's a big matzo ball hanging out there.
I had matzo ball soup for lunch today, so
Oh, no way. You
yeah.
know what
After
place in Manhattan has great matzo ball soup? It's probably closed because of coronavirus. It's called Jack's Wife Frida.
Freda, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep. It's I've been there. It's a brunch spot in Soho.
it's one gigantic matzo ball is the only thing.
Oh, I've never had their matzo ball soup, but
Yeah,
I have had brunch there.
yeah.
Uh, where? That's one thing I didn't stalk well enough. You're not from New York. You're from where are you from?
I'm from Argentina.
You're in Argentina now.
No, no, no.
Oh,
I, I
no,
live I
that's
live in
what.
I live in Boston now, but I'm
Oh,
from
okay.
I lived in New York for 2 years though.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, there you go. Now let me ask you a question. The move 98. What is Black doing? What is Black attacking anything?
Um, yes, because now the bishop, the dark squared bishop, could take my pawn, and if I take back with my bishop, then I lose the bishop to the queen.
Very good. So, see, that's something that we uncovered last analysis. Knight
Yeah.
moves, pieces attacking, has nothing to do with the knight. Okay, so you can defend that pawn in a few ways. You actually have to, because there's no point losing that pawn.
Yeah, I mean, there's h4 or moving my queen to g3 or
Hmm.
even to h5 if I wanted.
Oh, actually, interesting. Queen h5. Yeah. I only looked at queen g3 and h4. Which move do you like the most?
Probably h4.
Okay, so play it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna get to the point where I'm gonna walk you through a thought process, and I'll let you play a move. And
Yep.
if you blunder, you blunder, because I can't
Yeah,
literally play every move.
got
So,
it. Yep.
but so far your instinct is absolutely right.
And I'm
Um,
in between moves. I am dropping the ban hammer on people for anti-Semitism in the chat, so that's just an added activity that's happening.
oh, terrific! Yeah, I do. So okay, I'll talk after your move is played. So he's attacking your knight. What should you do with your knight?
Well, I probably put it on e2.
Okay, if you put it on e2, what's your opponent gonna do?
What is my opponent going to do?
Well, you
Maybe bring the queen
no, you told
out
me before.
somewhere?
You told me before. What's he gonna do? He's attacking something. Your knight has been a focal point of defense.
Oh, then he's going to take the pawn. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the only way to move your knight and prevent that from happening?
Probably moving the knight itself to d5.
Yeah, exactly.
But now potentially I lose a. Oh no, I don't lose a pawn. Oh no, because of my queen there. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're well protected. You actually have 3 guards on that knight: the pawn, the
Right.
queen, and the bishop.
Yep.
It's interesting. It's interesting you said. So I guess that's something you have to face a lot. I'm not. I'm also not particularly religious, but I think getting flamed for Judaism is not. I don't face it as intense. I get other things. I think in the chess Twitch world we get other insults.
Right.
Um, but I have gotten that one as well. Yes, for sure. Okay, Queen A5. What is
Okay,
the threat?
so I guess the threat would be centering on a2
Okay,
eventually.
okay.
Um,
And so what is your best move in this position?
would it be king b1 potentially?
That looks like the only move.
Okay.
So yeah, King B1.
Really in the nitty gritty now of the middle game.
Yes, very much so. Um, so checks, captures, attacks is something that's gonna have to stick. So Queen A5, you respected his threat, but you didn't look at yours. You had something.
5.
His queen used to guard somebody.
Oh, there's now a free bishop, which I
Yeah,
can no longer take because I've
so
lost. So now I have to take
yes,
back.
yes, you have to take. But I wanted you to play everyone in my chat like, you idiot, you didn't let him take the bishop. I'm like,
Yeah.
I am aware. So yes, the bishop was free. So 96. And so every move you're gonna have this background mental scanner of, can I take something for free or something? Like bishop takes pawn for you right now is obviously not free.
No.
Well, then we know it's gonna be a bloody two-sided attack of the chessboard. So what's a candidate move to continue some sort of attack?
Um. Well, I guess I could look at Queen E4.
Queen
Um,
e4.
I could look at
Careful.
Queen F2 in order to put the pawn in danger because the queen would no longer be able to defend it.
Right, Queen f2 is a very good move. Queen e4 was a one-move blunder.
Oh no, I would be giving away the queen. Now
Yes.
I've learned that some chess players at a certain point in the game you want to just give your queen away. Is that a move that you favor or not really?
It depends. This is always the golden chess answer. It's in
All
this
right, I'm going
position,
to play it
no.
this way.
Yes, yes,
Okay, in
Queen
this
f2.
position I don't. You
Yeah.
let me know when I want to give the queen away, and then I'll do it.
Yeah, no, not right now, please. we have a good thing going for us. So Queen f2. The thing is, with Queen f2, you completely shifted your focus to the other side of the board,
Right.
and he's gonna get a little aggressive now too. So, do you think you have to take that pawn? Because if you don't, what is he gonna do? You think he's gonna take your pawn or push his pawn?
I think probably push.
Right, so you should probably just take. It's just
Okay.
not, yeah. So you see, you have a defensive sense. Like, the guy wants to push and open up your king. He's gonna take this with the knight.
Yep.
When he takes with the knight, is he attacking anything?
Not directly. I mean, I can take can't take the bishop. It would be a trade bishop for which I would rather not do since I'd rather keep my bishop.
Okay, so you're saying you want to play a move like a bishop all the way back to c1.
That's not the type of move I would normally play. My instinct would be to play b3 and then potentially end up trading on e3, even though I don't really want to.
So my mini lesson in and of itself here is going to be never push pawns where you're being attacked.
Okay.
Because it's just going to weaken your position further. Like, if you play b3, he won't even take your bishop. He'll go all the way to the left, and he'll check your king.
So I think I will move the bishop back then.
Okay, so bishop c1 is probably fine. So just go ahead and play it.
Okay.
And I get, yeah, because we have 10-second bonus per move.
Yep.
But the move bishop back to c1, logically speaking, you're like, I don't want to trade my bishop for his knight. But at the same time, me playing devil's advocate, his knight is attacking your king as well. So if he traded the knight for the bishop, he would lose an attacking piece.
Yeah, and the queen by itself is not going to be able to do that much unless the bishop ends up or the rook gets involved.
Okay, but the rook, there's no threat. I mean, it's still behind a pawn. So we were still attacking. I'm going to urge you to keep thinking about, we have to attack as well. It's opposite side castling. So how are we going to do that?
Well, I could play d6, but it would just I don't know, that really benefits me very much.
It doesn't. Let's keep focusing on that pawn storm on the king, exactly like he's doing, because we did it a little bit.
Maybe h5.
You got to go h5 and g6. Yeah, you got to crash through. So this is called a pawn storm, and it's I think that's like, I'm not sure that's the official term, but it's a very easy way to remember this. Okay. Very aggressive. You have to take it. Can
With
you tell?
the c pawn?
Sure. I'm going to be completely honest. There's no difference.
There's no difference. Okay.
C doesn't open the A file, so it might make you feel inherently a bit more safe.
Yes, that was my thought.
Yeah, but C is C and A actually, I think, just optically. By the way, now you're attacking his knight. So
yep.
He's poking the wood of the fireplace, and he just got ashes, like, you know, spewed toward him.
If the knight moves, which I assume it will, I would be looking at maybe attacking the queen with bishop on c2, although I think it would just move. I don't know that it would do that much long term for me.
Right, you got to focus on where are you the strongest? Where is, like, the bread and butter of your position?
It seems on FGH.
So you got to focus, yes. So
yeah.
you got your next moves will be g6, something on that side of the board. Don't just get distracted with, oh, I have this attack on his queen, and it's a safe move, so I'm going to play it. Because that's not, he'll just move his queen, just like you said.
Yep.
And yeah, now he's thinking. Finally, the guy. So my favorite. They play really fast. They screw up. Then they think. Then they think.
So I know we're talking about G6, but I would also maybe be thinking about bishop
H6.
to
Oh,
E4.
okay. That's a very, very aesthetic move. Bishop E4. Because it hits the corner pawn.
Right.
The only reason I haven't been talking about it is because I feel like he'll move his knight in front of your pawn. And then you won't be able to play bishop E4. However,
In
if
which
you play...
case I would probably go G6.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you a question. If you play H6 instead of G6, what's he going to do?
Probably just play G6.
Yeah, and then how are you going to get through?
I don't know.
Right, which is why the move that hits both pawns is usually better.
Okay.
Because that way you will force a trade.
Right.
But there's still some stuff to, you know, to look at there. If you look at the move that he just played, B3, by the way, he did play that move.
Yep.
So G6 right now, what will he take with?
Well, I would assume he would take with the F pawn to do a discovered attack on my queen.
Wow, you okay? All right, so you just skipped everything. So instead of getting hit with a discovered attack, why don't you just sidestep that first?
By moving the queen.
Yeah. What do you think the best queen move is? It's amazing how you just saw like
maybe C2.
So C2 to line up to H7.
Yeah.
What's he gonna play if you put the queen out in the open like that?
Probably rook to C1.
Rook, yeah, rook C8, but yes.
C8, sorry. Yeah.
You see, like that's how chess works. I don't want to play queen C2 because he's gonna play rook C8. So what will you play instead?
Maybe queen D2
to offer a queen trade.
No, that's not what I was. No, not actually. That's not what I was thinking. What about maybe queen to H4? So then it's lined up with my rook.
I like that, but then you can't go G6.
Okay.
Because you're pinning yourself.
Right. So E2.
E2, G3. Yeah, but see, like that's exactly how it works. Yeah, just go to E2 for now.
Okay.
And then we'll have to play a few more moves fast because this guy. Yep. That's what I mean. Like, even in Rapid, you know, you got guys that just play so fast. And it's... I don't get it, but...
So now I'm looking for G6 if possible.
That's probably your next move. Not to mention, isn't queen takes E5 also a threat? Aren't you threatening to win a second pawn? Yeah.
It is.
Queen D2 was a great move. Simplifying when you're up material. Okay, he plays it himself. That's a horrible move. What do you think you should do?
Well, I like taking the pawn and attacking the undefended bishop.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
Wow. You know, I thought you were going to go, well, he played G6. Now that plays right into my plan. But you didn't even, you left it there for a moment. And you said, if I take, his bishop's not guarded. That's like, that's perfect. So you're not getting tunnel vision with, oh, I gotta take on G6 no matter what.
Right.
Not to mention that now when he pushed his G pawn forward, he's got dark squared weaknesses near the king. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Essentially 3 light squared pawns, the way he has, means that the light squares near his king are well protected, but the dark squares have no one guarding them.
Right.
Oh, okay, that guards the bishop. I was like, what is he doing? Okay, should you take on G6, or should you push your H-pawn?
My instinct is to push the H-pawn because then it could be made on G7.
Okay, so play it. It's almost a completely forced win. I think HG was better simply because if you play H6, okay, well, he immediately makes a mistake, but he had knight F5. So now the question is, should you take this F pawn? What should you do with your queen?
So if I check on E6, then it's either moving the knight to block or moving the rook to block or moving the king over to H8. There's kind of a bunch of options. So I'm thinking probably take with the pawn and then take the...
And then figure it out.
Check. Then maybe check.
Sure. So take. Like, both those moves, you can't quite figure out everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you just play the simple move, especially in time trouble. Like, you don't need to create something beautiful.
Yep.
I have a prediction. So rook F6 is the best move. I have a prediction. If he plays bishop F6, he's going to be like, I'm attacking his queen. Okay, he does play rook F6. The queen's gonna need a little bit of reinforcement.
So I would play rook to d1.
Rook to you already have
I'm
something.
sorry, to e1.
Sure. Yeah. So you're not threatening to take anything just yet, because somehow everything in his position is well protected.
Well, I'd be thinking about bishop to g5 next.
Well, I have a question. Why didn't you just play that on this move?
Yeah, actually, that would have been a better move.
Well, yes, it looks like it wins by force. Black has a really, really, rook f5 is a move.
So I think now check with the queen.
Okay. I'm wincing, but only because I don't want to give away all the solutions to the game.
Oh, wait a second, no.
It's mate!
Okay, that was mate one, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So, your h-pawn push a while ago...
That was the right move.
It set it up, yeah, and so he... Exactly.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, queen e6, and the game goes on. So, I can't... If I make moves on the board on my end, you won't see them. So, if I'm just going to kind of verbally tell you to, like, back up to a certain move.
Okay.
So... Instead of rook e1 on move 28,
right?
If you played bishop g5 right away,
yep,
that move looks like it completely wins because it destroys everything. Because if the rook moves to any square besides f7, it's mate.
Right.
And if it does go to f7, then what's like the simplest thing here for white to do to pick up material?
If it goes to f7, if it goes to f7. Do I take the bishop with my bishop?
And then the next move?
Well, I'm guessing that then he takes with one of these rooks.
And then your next move is?
I could take the knight.
Good. So takes. Easy.
Yeah.
You win a knight.
Yeah.
And everything in your position is completely safe. Exactly. So bishop g5 looks like it wins the game on the spot. And the reason I said like yes, but no, at sub 2000, bishop g5 wins on the spot. I think right around 2000, black might find the defensive move here that keeps the game going. Do you think you can find it using what you know about tactics? So I'll add in here, you're attacking his rook, but danger levels.
Would maybe he try to fork my bishop and queen with his rook, because then the rook is protected by the knight?
Well, he did that in the game, but then what did you play?
Oh, wait, did he? Hold on.
Because he played rook f5, but he can't because that opens up...
Oh, no, I meant rook to f5 rather than rook to f7.
I know, but in the game he played rook f5, and then you mated him with queen g7.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's not what the... oh, rook f5. Oh, okay, yeah. The moves got confused here. Okay, so we're going back to move 28. And your question was if he played rook to f7?
So we looked at rook to f7, and it doesn't quite work because you take the bishop and you take the knight.
Yes.
But in this position, he has a tactical trick, and it's essentially like the concept of danger levels. So you're attacking his rook with your bishop, right?
Yes.
He can ignore the attack on the rook if he can attack something in your position that's worth more than a rook.
I guess so, knight to f7?
Exactly. And that move, like, just a little bit prolongs the game.
Right, because I can't do a check on b8 because then I lose the queen. I can't take the bishop because then I lose the queen. I guess I would... Yeah, what would I do here?
You'd probably move the queen and guard the bishop so you don't lose it for free.
Okay, so like queen to g3 or something.
Queen g3, queen e3, yeah. And you might even have... I mean, we can even argue that you can sacrifice your queen right now. Like, if you played bishop takes rook.
Yep.
And he takes your queen.
And then I take back.
But, like, again, no need.
Yep.
This is a no-need situation. It's still winning. And, in fact, it's just kind of good in this position to practice evaluation of a position.
Yeah.
Why is this position still winning for white?
In a general sense?
Yeah, like, so using, like, material, for example, if you sacrifice your queen, you're up 1 point of it, so it's not anything substantial.
Right.
That goes first, material. Second thing is king safety. One of the players in this position has a terribly weak king.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, I have the king on the back rank, but both of my rooks are on the back rank right now. So there's no super easy way, I guess, to attack my king.
Exactly. Yep. That's
Yeah.
that's it. And I mean, Black's king on g8 can be attacked. How? Let's like say not right now, but in a move or two. How would you get to the Black king?
You mean no longer targeting g7?
Yeah, if the queen has been sacrificed, let's
Oh,
say.
okay. So let's play it. So I would take sacrifice here. I mean, I guess I would start moving my rooks to open files, right?
So rook f1. Rook f1's a good idea. If I said you have to check the Black king in 2 moves, how would you do it?
I have to check the black. I guess I would play d6 and then bishop to d5.
How do you always find like the most advanced solution first? I was
Because then I
thinking
guess, yeah, well,
I was thinking bishop h3, bishop e6.
bishop h3, bishop h6. Wait, no, say that again.
So instead of pushing the pawn and then moving the bishop to that diagonal
Yeah.
where you hit the king, you can move your light squared bishop out to h3
Yep.
and then to e6.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, and then it's sort of the same thing. So
Yeah.
rook c1 and rook all the way down is the other way,
Rook c1.
and then rook all the way down to c8.
Oh, okay. I hypothetically played the black rook to c7, so it would prevent that. But if my opponent played something else, then I would go to c1 and then down to c8. Okay, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That makes sense. Yep.
By the way, just you suggested this move, pawn to d6, right?
Yes.
You still have the position on the board with the bishop in the center, and then you sacrifice the queen, right?
Yes, and I just took the knight.
Yes.
Yep.
So when you go d6, what pieces see each other? For both sides, white and black's pieces, they can see each other.
What pieces see each other? Well, I guess it depends on what black moves before I play d6, right?
No. Well, let's say black just does like something completely random. So
Like
a6.
pushing a pawn. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
pawn to a6, and you
And
push
then
the
I
pawn.
play d6.
Mhm.
What? Well, now there's a discovered attack on my opponent's rook on b7 from my
Excellent.
bishop.
Yep.
And
Your pawn is attacking the dark squared bishop.
yeah, and my bishop is under attack by the queen.
That is the bonus, yes. You're still completely winning because the rook is hanging and your pawn's about to like take everything and become a queen. But just noticing that pushing a pawn opens up the queen from the side is another thing that, you know, pattern recognition
Right.
will pick up.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, this is essentially how you like how you have an introductory kind of lesson. Like we have to start somewhere because
Yeah, right, exactly.
So we took a look at, you know, some different openings. Let me know if you had like specific questions that you wanted answered before you just get off and practicing on your own, whether on stream.
No, I mean this is definitely a lot to think about. So I'll save some of my my written down questions for the next